Alright, so this is Arcanus Continuum. It is one of the other magic mods that I'm currently working on. It is a lot earlier on in development than Devotion is, as in there's not nearly as much to showcase. But first off, we can start with the UI. Down here, we have our mana bar. Only the player has access to it. Other players can't see it like they can see your aura in Devotion. But there's other features to this that don't exist in Devotion, such as Burnout, which happens when you use too much mana and you can't afford to cast a spell. It will slow down the player's ability to cast spells in the future, making it take way, way, way longer. And there's also Mana Lock, which is very similar to Burnout, but it doesn't cause any negative effects other than you just have less mana at your disposal. I can't showcase them right now because I have no means of triggering them within game. I'm sorry. But they just they go from the right side of the bar to the left, whereas the mana comes from the left side to the right. That's it. It's pretty simple, and it's pretty good. It will always be mana, burnout, and then mana lock. Mana lock will always be the furthest to right, burnout will always be between the two, and mana will always be on the left. Very simple, very easy. Mana's blue, burnout's red, mana lock's gray. Pretty simple, pretty easy to understand for most players, hopefully. They are textured differently as well, so no issues with color blindness there. Also, red-blue colorblind is pretty rare. Not impossible, but better to have textures there just in case, you know? So, I put on the wizard armor because it looks cool. So, as you can see, we have this staff, which has different spell slots. All of them are blank currently, but you also see this pattern of L's and R's. That is for left and right clicks. In order to select a spell, you select it by left and right clicking your mouse. There's also custom animations. That was fun to do. And by fun, I mean it was hard, because Minecraft does not support custom player animations. And I didn't use a library for that. I did that all from scratch. So that was fun to implement. But got it done. Took me like a day to get all the animations. There's a running animation too. So yeah, there's that. You can select different spells. It will select it from different ones. And if you hold down left or right click, whichever one was the last, it will continuously cast the spell as long as it possibly can, which will consume your mana with time. So over here, we have the spellcrafting menu. Right now, I have a spellbook in it. It's nothing fancy. It's just a spellbook. There's an undo, redo button. They aren't functional yet. And here shows how many spell components you have on your spell. You have a maximum of 12, but by default, you can only have 2. It starts at 2, goes up to 12, depending on levels and whatnot, because there is a leveling system. That's where the quests come in. I'll get to that when I get to the wizard. Scroll bars. They aren't anything impressive in most game engines, but Minecraft has 0 support for them by default. I had to make this completely from scratch, yet again. So all of this entire UI here that you see, including the scissoring here, all done from scratch. It was fun. I got it done. Didn't take me too long to get this. There's still a lot more to go into this because I can't click and drag these onto here yet. That's going to take a little bit. But you can name your spells. So let's have a fireball. Doesn't do anything. I can't put it on the wand yet, or on the staff yet, because that code is broken right now. I had to do some changes, which caused it to no longer work, and it's been at the lower end of the priorities for the minute, because I wanted to get spellcrafting itself done. So, let's move on to just small thing. You can dye your hats, so you can have a blue hat if you really wanted to. I'll put on a blue hat. Blue hat. No, I have this reserved for something else. So, let's head up here to, but that's the end of the UI. We're done with the UI. So we head up here, and we have this door in the way. You can't click on it like you can most doors, and you can't use redstone on it either. Instead, that's hello, yes, no. You have to type a word, a password. By default, it's please, because please is the magic word. It's so fun, so childish and dumb, and I love it. Oh, hello, little opossum. How you doing? You can also change it by shift right-clicking on it. If you own the door, with a name tag. I own the store, I just placed it for the sake of this video, so now I can do, if I type please now, it shows up in chat, but it won't open the door. But if I type open sesame, access granted, and it doesn't show up in the chat, so that way your password is kept nice and safe and secure from anybody who might be looking. Meanwhile, there's this little guy. That's why I have this carrot and this hat in my inventory. Where are you going, buddy? You're mine now. He can wear a hat. It's just the small things, in my opinion, that just little Easter eggs like that make a lot of worlds and a lot of games feel loved by their developers. And yeah, I don't know. I like Easter eggs. And up here, we have an old man wizard. He will give you quests, which will increase your wizarding level. Right now, I don't have the quests done, but he will give them when he does. And he spawns in with randomly colored robes. So, and a random staff, because as you can see, I have this amethyst staff. He has this gnarly wooden staff. And there's a bunch of different staves that you can use. There's the wooden staff, amethyst staff, there's the quartz staff, ender staff, and echo shard staff. They all have different effects. I won't get into them yet because they're not implemented. But so far, oh, and also, obviously, this wizard tower, the whole structure that I've been like going around this entire time, this tower is randomly generated into the world, and they are the only places where you can find wizards and currently where you can find opossums. I do want to make it so opossums spawn in forests as well, but for the minute, this is a guaranteed spot where you can find them. And I love them so much. But for the minute, that's all there is for Arcanus. It is not yet done. It is a sequel to an existing mod of mine, also called Arcanus. Arcanus Continuum is the continuation of Arcanus Legacy. So there's a lot of work left to be done, but what I have so far is, in my opinion, pretty good. I really like what I've got going so far, and I hope you do too.